You look like you've got your wits about you. Care to make a bit of extra gold working for Leowin's Ivory Brigade? I've been asked by my captain to find someone who can handle themselves. We need help with a delicate situation. Deadly secrets, assassins, murder. Now apparently a counselor has gone missing. Between the war, bandits, and cultists, the Ivory Brigade is like the Nord that tries to plug a leaking cask of mead, only to realize he doesn't have enough fingers. Talk to my commander, Captain Rian Leor. You can find him just outside the city gates, trying to appease some of the nobles. Tell him I sent you, and he'll put you right to work, I'm sure.
You have my word. If the counselor is in Leowin or the surrounding countryside, the Ivory Brigade will find her. You there! A moment of your time, please. Not now, citizen. Can't you see I have my hands full at the moment? I'm sure a guard or one of my brigadines can assist you. Why didn't you say so? Leowin's problems are legion, and now the Wood Elf Archer's predictions seem to be coming true. Damn these old Imperial secrets. Counselor Jirik has disappeared, and the Ivory Brigade is already spread too thin for my liking. The Wood Elf, Everly Sharparrow. She brought news that the Dark Brotherhood was targeting members of the Elder Council, all because of some secret of the Longhouse Emperors. We took her warning seriously, but Jirik refused Brigadine protection. With that guild of assassins, I'm not sure what to think. But Jirik is missing, and I don't have enough Brigadines at the ready to conduct the proper search. You look capable. So, care to earn some gold and help us determine the Counselor's fate? Here, let me update your map. These are places Jirik visits during her daily routine. If something befell her, it happened somewhere along this path. Meanwhile, I have Everly Sharparrow checking locations in the city. She was very eager to help. Interesting. She arrived a short time ago with a tale straight out of a mystery novel. She said that Emperor Leovik's former steward had been murdered by the Dark Brotherhood, killed over some secret pertaining to the Longhouse Emperors. Ah, then you must be the associate she was waiting for. She'll be glad to hear that you've arrived. Everly presented her evidence to Counselor Leviticus, that the members of the Elder Council were in danger. He decided the threat was credible. Counselor Leviticus has kept her close, while the two of them try to make sense of this so-called secret. I have yet to be made privy to the details. With Jirik's disappearance, I'll send Everly to check places the Counselor frequents in the city.
Pico, over here. Rock Grove begs for your aid.
Pardon me, you're not the counselor. Apologies. I heard you stumbling about and thought it might be Counselor Jirik. Oh, no one important, I assure you. I'm simply one of the counselor's aides. I help her with paperwork mostly. Run errands, that sort of thing. She initially refused the captain's offer, but she received a letter that made her uneasy. Last I saw, she was headed back to the city by way of the Eastern Gate. But she never returned to her manor, so I came to look for her. Please, find her.
Someone! Anyone! Help me! I refused to believe, but Farrell, Leviticus, they were right. I was attacked. An assassin. You must warn the others, the counselors. Leofic's secret, it will be the death of us all!
Counselor Jirik! Damn, we're too late! Damn it. Looks like we were both too late. It's just like I expected when we found that list with all the counselors' names on it. I hate being right when somebody dies. Glad to see you made it here, by the way. Did you happen to see who killed her? The mark of the Dark Brotherhood, just like Farrell Lupus. Remember I said I was going to find Leviticus? Well, I did. And turns out, he's the head of the city's Chamber of Legates. I just wish another person hadn't died because of this damn secret. The secret of the Longhouse Emperors. It has something to do with the 4 ambitions of Mehrunes Dagon. I think they're Daedric weapons, but that's all we know so far. Remember, I was working for Farrell Lupus. He sent me to find that strange tome. Right, and we found that list with all the counselors' names on it. Farrell's too. The one that suggested they all knew something about the ambitions. Since Farrell was murdered, I figured the others were in danger too. Looks like I was right. Let me have your map. This is where Counselors Valeria and Sophis were last time I checked. Go warn them. Convince them the threat is real. Then meet me at Counselor Jirik's manor in the city. Maybe we can find something more about this secret. I'll get the city guards to come and gather the counselor's body.
She shouldn't just be left out here. Then I'll head to Councillor Jiric's manor. When you're done checking on Councillor Valeria and Councillor Sophis, meet me there.
Help me get that.
We weren't expecting visitors. Are you here to see the counselor? Are you here to speak with Counselor Sophis? I'm afraid my husband has taken our dog for a walk. Is there something I could help you with, perhaps? Danger? What are you talking about? Does this have something to do with that letter? And who are you, by the way? Captain Rianne? I see. Well, if the Ivory Brigade sent you, my husband likes to walk our dog Chero along the tree line. Go on and find him. I'll wait here in case he returns. My husband, Valen, received a letter from an old friend this morning. Farrell Lupus, Emperor Leovic's steward. I could see that whatever was in that letter upset him, but he didn't want to discuss it, and I didn't push him. Now please, go find him. What's taking you so long? They should...
Valen! No! Oh, Valen! Oh, my love! What happened? I thought Captain Rianne sent you to protect my husband! You know, Valen acted strange after the letter from Farrell Lupus arrived. He didn't tell me what it said, and I never asked. Before he left today, he gave me a sealed scroll, said to give it to Counselor Leviticus if anything ever happened to him. A scroll, sealed and bearing my husband's stamp. Take it. Give it to Counselor Leviticus. I hope it helps catch whoever murdered my husband. I'll summon the town guard. They'll help me with my husband.
Let's ride. What?
Stay alert. I have it on good authority that I'm in danger.
Of course, Counselor.
Step back and state your business. I have every reason to believe that my life is in danger. If you so much as make a threatening gesture, the Brigandine will dismember you. He has very strict orders on that regard. I was beginning to suspect as much. Very well. Tell me everything that you have learned. Leave nothing out. I want to hear it all. Lupus. Emperor Leovik's old steward? And Jirik as well? Gods, they are targeting the Elder Council. Anything else? Tell me. The slightest detail could mean the difference between life and death. The ambitions? I heard that term once before, years ago. I must go to Tidewater Cave. I have a cache hidden there, and I need to check my records. Meanwhile, I suggest you find Jirik's files. She kept them in a hidden compartment in her nightstand. Extremely well. We were rivals as well as colleagues on the Elder Council. It was that way between all of the counselors, I suppose. Her death is a tragedy, however. I will miss her. Possibly. I oversaw the Imperial Treasury, so my records deal with expenditures and collections. I have documents going as far back as Emperor Morikar, possibly even Durkarach, and I know I saw that term someplace. I will see what I can find. Extremely well. We were rivals as well as colleagues on the Elder Council. It was that way between all of the counselors.
Over here! I'm glad you're here. I've been searching all over, but I could use your help. This place is huge. Why do rich people need so many rooms? Oh, but tell me, did you warn the counselors like I asked? Sophis is dead? Damn! Was it the Dark Brotherhood? What am I saying? Of course it was! I've torn this place apart, but so far I haven't found anything related to Imperial secrets or the ambitions. Maybe you can spot something I missed. I knew you'd be a help, but I didn't expect you to just have the answer the moment you walked in. Good job! Counselor Jirik's bedroom is upstairs. Let's see if we can find that hidden compartment. hidden compartment? I love it! I mean, I hate that people have died, but... So, what did you find? Let me see that. That's a code, all right. Some of the other documents I found use something similar. You know, I'm really starting to hate all this secrecy surrounding the ambitions. I'm almost certain of it. And Councillor Leviticus knows my brother. We talked about him a bit when I arrived. If there isn't a qualified scribe nearby, I can send for my brother. Let's go to Leowyn Castle and talk to Leviticus. I can't help feeling that once we solve the secret of the Longhouse Emperors, we'll know how to stop the Dark Brotherhood from murdering any more of the Councillors. I'll see you at the castle.
I need your report, mercenary. Word reached me that Councillor Jirik was murdered. What about Sophus and Valeria? And did you find definitive proof that the Dark Brotherhood is our culprit? That's the Black Hand, symbol of the Dark Brotherhood. I wish Jirik and Sophus had allowed me to assign brigadines to protect them. At least Valeria, however reluctantly, agreed to a military escort. Did you and Everly uncover any other information? It appears that Councillor Leviticus's trust in the Wood Elf was not misplaced. Very well. You and Everly can head in and talk to the Councillor.
Captain Rian and the Ivory Brigade will deal with the Dark Brotherhood. We are perfectly safe in here.
Your damn empire, Leviticus. It no longer exists, but it still causes us trouble.
You must be the mercenary that Captain Rian told me about. And I see you're working with Everly Sharparrow. Good. Good. I assume you have something to report. I'm listening. Damn it all to oblivion and back. I should have taken Farol Lupus more seriously when I received his letter. This is definitely the mark of the Dark Brotherhood. Anything else to add to this? Yes, that's the Longhouse Emperor's code. Only a handful of Imperial scribes can decipher it. I know one. Baragon. I'll send for him at once. Meanwhile, we must warn the remaining councillors on the list. Eivor, Valeria, Itinia, and Vandacia. Very good. I've sent messages to Itinia and Vandacia already, as neither of them are currently within Leowyn's jurisdiction. I need you to go to Fort Blueblood. Councillor Eivor has taken refuge there, but I'd prefer to have her here in Leowyn. Everything we do now must be swift if we are to get ahead of this. Go to Fort Blueblood and convince Councillor Eivor to return to the city. She'll be safer here than at the fort. Sadly, no. Whatever Leovic confided in Farol Lupus and the others, whatever he ordered them to do, he kept it a complete secret from me. I suppose he assumed I wouldn't go along with anything illegal or Daedric, and he was right. I was. But the Elder Council was made up of almost 24 councillors. According to the list Everly Sharparrow brought me, only 7 councillors were privy to this secret. Make that 6. I have no idea why Leovic listed me among that group. Who knows what was going through Leovic's head when he wrote that entry in his journal? Varen and his rebels were literally pounding at the doors of the palace at the time. And Leovic wasn't totally in his right mind even before the rebellion. Only a token force of Brigadines guards Fort Blueblood. If the Dark Brotherhood is truly our enemy, I fear a lone assassin can bypass the fort's defenses with relative ease. Eivor would be better off here in the castle. Go and bring her back at once.
Leowen and its citizens are in danger, and Leviticus is only telling the Chamber of Legates about this now? This one knew we weren't done with Leovic and the Longhouse Emperors. She just knew it. While Countess Kero sits on Leowen's throne, it is the Chamber of Legates that governs the city. There are 3 legates. This one, Amhalu, and Leviticus. Each one has an equal voice. This one supposes Leviticus's voice is slightly louder. Leviticus was the chief counselor of the Imperial Elder Council. Since the threat concerned his former colleagues, he decided to keep it to himself until he ascertained its veracity. He did inform us as soon as the threat was deemed real. An august body that advised the emperors and maintained the imperial bureaucracy. It was disbanded with the collapse of the empire. Many of the former counselors came here to escape the war in Cyrodiil. They retained their titles as a sign of respect.
To keep a situation like this a secret from his fellow legates. What was Leviticus thinking? And now Councillor Jirik is dead? When the river rises, everyone gets wet, I'm afraid.
Fort Blueblood? That's to the east across the river. I'll meet you there.
Right behind you, partner.
Look! Councillor Leviticus and Captain Rianne sent me! I need to see Councillor Eivor now!
And what about my sister? She hasn't been seen since she took the Councillor her meal.
Councillor Eivor was very clear about this.
She doesn't want to be disturbed. Oh, another mercenary. Is our Ivory Brigade so enfeebled that Captain Rian must resort to hiring sellswords? Look, as I told the Wood Elf, Counselor Eivor was quite insistent. She doesn't want to be disturbed. All right, enough. I can see when I'm being overruled. Very well. I give you permission to enter the watchtower. Counselor Eivor's safety is now in your hands. Lurius? Oh, something about his sister. She's another servant here at the fort. Works in the kitchen, I believe. Apparently, she brought the counselor her meal. He says she never returned, but the servants look for any opportunity to sneak off. The counselor demanded we protect her. Said her life was in danger, but refused to give me any details. Imperial confidentiality, she insisted, above my station. I put her up in the watchtower and assigned a couple of brigandines to guard her.
Oh no! Counselor Eivor! It's the servant! The Dark Brotherhood's calling card. They tore out the pages and took them, just when we were so close to finding out more about the ambitions. Eivor's meal is still warm. Never did. We have a door locked from the outside, a dead counselor, and a missing servant. Did the assassin take off with both the torn-out journal pages and the servant? Anyway, they not only murdered Eivor, they probably know how to find the ambitions now. See that rope hanging from the top of the tower? Bet my bottom acorn that's how the assassin got in and out. But the missing servant... something about that is knocking on the back of my head. And why would the Dark Brotherhood take those pages? Maybe. But everything I've read about the Dark Brotherhood never suggested they would be interested in weapons of war, if that's even what the ambitions are. Damn it, we're loosing arrows in the dark here. Let's tell Commander Orton about Eivor.
So, will Counselor Eivor be returning with you to Leyawiin? Am I finally going to be able to get my fort back in order? Murdered? Gods, keep your voice down. Do you want to start a panic? Tell me what you found in the watchtower. Let me see that. A black handprint. The sign of the Dark Brotherhood. But where is the servant, Talais? Is she involved in this fiasco? And how did she and the assassin get out of the watchtower? My brigandines never left their post. Well, that explains some of it, but not all. We need to locate Talais. Since you're already involved and working for Captain Rian, I want you to quietly try to find Talais. Start by talking to the other servants in the kitchen and dining hall.
Your sister is fine. This one is certain.
Then where could she be? She would never neglect her duties.
Probably found a dark corner and someone to snuggle with. This one does that all the time. Pleasant days, visitors. How can this one assist you? Ah, Thales. She worries her brother so. She asked me where we kept the hot root flakes. Counselor Eibor sprinkles them on every dish. I told her they are in the pantry, but you need the key from the kitchen to unlock the door.
All right, grab a broom and start sweeping.
What? No, that's Thales' job.
And do you see Thales anywhere? No. Then start sweeping.
Another new face in the fort? First Counselor Eibor, now you and that cute wood elf. Look, I'd love to chat, but Thales has wandered off and left me to handle her chores. She took the Counselor her meal and hasn't returned. Did you check the watchtower? Eibor's a little old, but maybe Thales decided to improve her station, if you catch my meaning. Eibor reeks of fear. Maybe Thales finds that attractive. Well, she's been acting like a frightened guar since she arrived. Stays locked up in the watchtower. Only lets a single servant in at a time. And I hear she's been burning papers. Documents of some kind. She's scared out of her wits, if you ask me.
The servants come to the kitchen to mutter and gossip. This one will not have it. Misaba asks that you do not distract them overly long, as they are already naturally lazy. What is it that you need? That young woman. She has not returned from the watchtower, so her chores remain undone. And she took the pantry key with her when she went. It is no longer hanging on its hook. That is a clear violation of the kitchen rules. A clear violation. The pantry is in the cellar, but the door is around the side of the building. Thales mumbled something about how the counselor loves hot root flakes, grabbed the key and the tray of food and went off. This one hasn't seen her since.
So, what did we learn? Counselor Eibor was frightened, but that's understandable. Interesting that she was burning documents. Her journal indicated that she knew more than the others. And Thales visited the pantry before heading to the watchtower. Couldn't hurt. And every mystery novel I ever read taught me you should always follow up on every clue, even the ones that seem insignificant. Let's check the pantry and see if she was looking for more than hot root flakes down there. What? Is that... Damn it! They murdered Thales too! Why would the Dark Brotherhood murder... Oh no! We need to talk about this! Alright, I think I figured it out. The assassin followed Thales down here, murdered her, and took her place so they could gain access to the watchtower. Pretty clever, but they didn't have to kill her. Right. Very funny. Wait, you're serious? If you're part of this, if you've been trying to save your murdering friends... Ah! All right, we're going back to Leowyn. You can walk on your own, or I can drag your dead body behind me. Yeah, I've read that somewhere. But what about the calling cards? The Black Hand is definitely making a statement. Trying too hard to convince us that the Dark Brotherhood is behind the murders. All right, I can see your point. That doesn't change the fact that the remaining counselors are still in danger. We need to warn Counselors Valeria and Vandacia. Right. Report to Commander Orton on your way out. Tell him what happened. Then go check on Counselors Valeria and Vandacia. I need to return to Leowyn and consult with Leviticus. But this, between you and I, it isn't over. Remember that. After you report to the commander, make contact with Counselors Valeria and Vandacia. Valeria went to Tidewater Cave to get her records, and Vandacia works in the Gideon Courthouse. Cracked acorns! I suddenly had the weirdest feeling come over me. Yes. No, I don't know. We were talking about the counselors. Valeria and Vandacia. Suddenly I had a premonition. It was brief and disturbing and mildly unpleasant, like the dreams I've been having. But this is the first time while I was awake. Remember I told you about that strange book I found? The one with the Daedric writing that I can't read? I've been having bad dreams since I found it, and the dreams are becoming more frequent. This time it happened right while we were talking. It was just a flash, but it was accompanied by a feeling. I felt a sense of overwhelming evil, all tied up in the figure I saw in my mind. Like someone held a portrait in front of my face for just a moment and then pulled it away. It was one of the Waking Flame cultists, I think. Someone powerful, in command. A dark silhouette wrapped in a cloak. I'll never forget the feeling it invoked. It was like a wave of hopelessness. We can deal with this later. Let's get back to it.
What is it?
All right. You talked to the fort's servants and rummaged around in our pantry. What's the verdict? Did you find the missing servant? Oh, that's horrible. Are you sure? No. Of course you're sure. No one would lie about something like that. I'll tell her brother what happened and send someone to tend to her body. Gods, what a day this has been.
Wake the dead.
That must have cost it.
Let's hit the trail.
Well?
I was attacked in the street. You deal with the criminal post-haste.
Your guards did their job, Counselor Vandacia. The prisoner is secure.
And what's this? More assassins? Explain yourself immediately. One attempt on my life today is more than enough. If you're another one of those Dark Brotherhood bastards, I assure you, You won't find either myself or Governor Keshu to be easy prey. Warn me? As always, Leviticus offers too little and too late. I received the letter, same as the other counselors. My personal guard took the threat seriously, and we captured the assassin in the act. But what of my esteemed colleagues? Are they safe? Dead? All three of them? This is unimaginable. Pharaoh Lupus's letter suggested the Longhouse Emperors left behind a secret that would prove to be a threat. But I thought he was just being melodramatic. Has Leviticus determined what this is about? Four ambitions? Never heard of them. How could something I know nothing about make me a target of the Dark Brotherhood? It's got to be a mistake. You must question the prisoner. Get him to confess and reveal the truth of this sordid affair. Governor Keshu locked the prisoner in the holding cell in the courthouse basement. Question the villain, and find out why the Dark Brotherhood is trying to wipe out anyone who was part of the Imperial Elder Council. I'll head for Leyawen afterward. I wish there was something I could tell you. The letter I received suggested that some old council business was the cause of all this. Why the Dark Brotherhood would be interested in such menial affairs, I'm not sure. I'm completely baffled. My personal guard is dedicated and well-trained. Not to mention lucky. I was nearing the courthouse when the assassins sprang from the shadows. My guards reacted instantly and overpowered the villain. We brought them here, and Keshu locked them away. Keshu the Black Fin. War hero, progressive Argonian, and governor of our fair city of Gideon. I serve as an advisor and bureaucrat. Nothing more. I have deep roots in Gideon, so I try to do my part to keep the wheels of government turning.
The cell door is open. What happened here?
Poured something on the lock. Hit me. And escaped.
Some sort of acid ate right through the lock. Look, there's more of it on the floor.
He ran that way, toward the old ruins.
He almost knocked me over. How rude!
He attacked this legionnaire and ran into the ruins of the old city.
How can I help?
To arms!
You're persistent, I'll give you that. All right, let's chat. Well met, brother. If I had realized you were in the area, I would have suggested we meet for a meal at the Egg and Hammer. The chef makes a superb fungus omelette. I suppose you're chasing me because of the incident at the courthouse, hmm? Well, aren't you a fast reader? Look, if you're here about Councillor Van Dacia's accusations, you have to know they aren't true. From your time with the Brotherhood, you must remember that if we set out to kill someone, they wind up dead. Evidence? I told the Speaker those calling cards would get us into trouble. It's not like we signed them or anything. Anyone can dip their palm in black ink and make a handprint. Look, there have been no contracts. I'm here on different business. Good question. As soon as you figure it out, let me know. I definitely want to have a chat with them myself. Now, it's been lovely seeing you again, but I really do need to get back to my daring escape. If you learn anything, I'll be in touch. If you come to any conclusions, do let me know. Ta-ta.
The mercenary from Leowin has returned. Tell me, were you able to capture the assassin? Or perhaps you killed him in battle once you caught up to him? I am eager to hear the news. Allow me to peruse the document, if you will. Proof positive that the Dark Brotherhood is in Blackwood. We must find this sanctuary and destroy it. What did you expect? Such lies fall from his lips like rain from the sky on a stormy day. Villains never freely admit their guilt. The evidence is right here in this letter. Meet me in Leowin and we'll share this information with Leviticus. What? Oh, my personal guard are nearby and these legionnaires are sufficient. You need not be concerned. As for Keshu, she had business to attend to. Gideon business. I saw no reason to distract her from her regular duties. Now to Leowin.
Let's ride.
the mercenary. A few moments later, and you would have found an empty cave. Your timing really is impeccable. We've already packed up my records, and we're about to head out. But what news of the other counselors? Did your warnings reach them in time? All three of them? That's disheartening news. Well, I'll take my records to Leowen. Perhaps between the two of us, Counselor Leviticus and I can ascertain what past incident has returned to haunt us. Oh, just a lifetime of public service and bureaucracy. Mostly financial records, but also meeting notes, ledgers, those sorts of things. I oversaw budgets and finances, the collection of taxes, public works, and I kept immaculate records. That's good to hear. Emperor Leovic loved to hide things in coded documents. But what about Counselor Vandacia? Do we know if he's still safe in Gideon? Perfect. I look forward to conferring with the remaining members of the Elder Council. These Brigadines will make sure I get to the city safely. Me and my records both. I'll see you in Leowen, mercenary.
Dark Brotherhood. They must be driven out of Blackwood.
I still can't figure out why they would be targeting us, Vandacia.
Eliminate the threat first. Then we can seek answers.
All of the remaining counselors in Blackwood are gathered here in the castle. Valeria, Vandacia, and myself. While we await the arrival of the scribe I sent for, tell me what you uncovered in Gideon. I'm not sure I agree with Vandacia's assessment. Yes, I remember reports of their presence early in Morikar's reign, but they were driven out. The assassins must see this as the perfect opportunity to reclaim their base, but what does that have to do with Leovic's secret and the ambitions? Vandacia, Valeria, and I were just discussing that. We think Leovic had each of the counselors unknowingly working on a different aspect of the Ambitions project. They each had access to a piece of the puzzle, but no one but Leovic knew everything. That's our prevailing theory. If the counselors ever came together to compare notes, the truth of the Ambitions would be revealed. To stop that from happening, the Dark Brotherhood was sent to kill my colleagues. Indeed. Very curious. Still, I'm hesitant to take the word of an admitted killer at face value. Not with so much at stake. Regardless, their very presence still poses a threat to all of Blackwood. The sanctuary cannot be allowed to reopen. Jirik's and Sophis' documents contain information written in Imperial code. I sent for the scribe, Aragon, but he has yet to arrive. Until then, the counselors will remain safe within these walls. Whatever the truth...
Hey, partner! Over here!